Okay, so we're on to the second section of this, and this is breaking the goals down. So once you know what you truly want, then it's time to give it shape and break things down. Dreams can feel magical and huge, but they grow best when it's small, consistent steps. I know that's not as exciting as the giant vision, but those are the foundations that make this a reality. So step one is know the large goal. This is your North Star. This is the thing that keeps you going. So your large goal is the vision. It's the big why. It's the thing that lights you up. It's what you'd love to see come true in the next year or two. So after the last one where you went through what you feel and everything else, you should have a good idea of kind of what you want to accomplish. So now you're going to ask yourself questions like, what would make me feel proud and at peace if I achieved it? And again, a lot of this will be stuff you've kind of figured out already. Why does this matter to me? That's a good question to ask. Why does this matter to me? So some examples of goals would be things like feeling strong and confident and comfortable in my body. That goes in with the fitness one. Have a calm, happy home with less clutter and less stress. I mean, that's a pretty good one for a lot of people. Build a business that allows me to work for myself. Again, you can have other ways of freedom, but that's one people really like. Create deeper, more connected relationships. That's always a healthy one that brings a lot of joy into your life. Pay off debt and build real financial freedom. And I know for a lot of people that seems like a big out of reach, ginormous goal, but it's totally doable. It's just, you got to finagle it. Feel more joyful and present every day instead of rushing. So mindfulness and presence is fantastic. Sometimes having the goal of mindfulness and just being present can make everything honestly seem so much better. You wind up realizing how much you truly have. So I'm personally a fan of things of like mindfulness and meditation and stuff because it calms down the mind and makes you realize how much you truly have. So those are just a few ideas of goals. They can be anything you feel like would be something that would make your life better. It's totally okay, whatever you feel like doing. Okay, once you have your large goal, we want to create medium-sized goals. So the medium-sized goals those are your stepping stones. They're the building blocks that make the large goals real. So for these, ask yourself, what needs to happen before that big vision can take root? What 3 to 5 milestones would show that I'm making progress? So, for example, if your large goal is to feel strong and confident in your body, so your medium goals could be join a gym or start a fitness routine. Another one could be build consistency. So you know the days a week you're going, improve your nutrition and energy levels. So like get your sleep. Sleep is a big one. Track your strength or flexibility, progress every 3 months. So things like that, or like a financial freedom goal would be make a clear budget and spending tracker. Pay off one credit card or loan, or parts of it, depending on how big they are, but you get my point. Build an emergency fund. Start investing or building a side income stream. That can be a good one too. Now, I am not a financial person, so I'm not the person to give you advice on how to get rich or anything else. That's not my forte. These are just examples for you. So let's say if your goal is to feel more peaceful and less stressed. Maybe it's creating a morning and evening mindfulness routine, or just a routine in general. Maybe it's simplify your schedule. I do that one regularly because things get out of control because I want to do too many things and then I reel it back in. Set boundaries around work or phone time. So a lot of times you just need to turn it off or not answer calls during certain times because that's your time. Practice gratitude for 30 days. I love that one. So these are basically the medium goals. These are the chapters. These are the things you need to do. This is not necessarily your day-to-day things you're doing. This is your medium-sized goals that give you an idea of what you need to create your small goals out of. So the next one is the small goals. So the small goals are the daily or weekly choices that bring this dream to life. So these are not glamorous, but they're where honestly the real magic happens. People tend to think that magic is this like big, wonderful, cosmic stuff. No, it's the day-to-day steps you take. It's the day-to-day it's the day-to-day choices you make. So they're not always fun. Like when you're eating a certain way because you want more energy or you want to be able to, hike better or whatever you're doing, and you go out with friends and you say no to the dessert. I've been off sugar for 5 months, and sometimes still when I'm out with friends and I have to say no, that sucks. But saying no to that is what I know is going to keep me healthier, so I do it. Again, not always fun, but it gets you there. So let's look at this actually as a climbing a mountain metaphor. So your big goal is the peak, right? That big peak you're aiming for. The medium goals are the little tiny false peaks that you go along. And the small goals are each footstep along the path. So ask yourself, what needs to happen for me to reach the top? Keep asking that question until you reach something so small you could do it today. So for example, if you are so I don't like that fitness is the only goal people tend to use, but my background was in the fitness industry, so it's easy for me to give examples for that. So forgive me. So if you are looking at fitness, the obvious one is just get to the gym. That's your mini step. Get to the gym. And even if one thing I would tell people is even if it's 10 minutes, it's still something. And I've had times in my life where I was like in awesome shape. And I've had times where you had injuries or I got sick and then I had to start all the way back over. And so even for myself, I have to tell myself, just get there. Just get there, do 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. If 10 minutes is all you do, you're doing something. So that's a small step. Another small step is eating breakfast in the morning. Eating breakfast is huge. So many people don't do it, but it makes such a big difference in your health. Getting to bed at a reasonable hour, reasonable for you. I do tend to be a bit of a night owl, but I have a certain time of, okay, I need to be in bed by at least midnight. And so I can get up in the morning and get to the gym and do all my other stuff. So it doesn't matter what's reasonable for everybody else, what's reasonable for you so that you're getting enough sleep that's the point I'm making. So those are small things. If you are aiming for the lower stress and peaceful mindset, I can speak to that because I work on that myself. It could be that you're making sure you get at least a 10-minute meditation. It could be that you set an alarm on your phone and every time it goes off, every hour, 2, 3, whatever, you stop and take a few small deep breaths. It could be a gratitude practice. It could be so many little things that build up to make a better headspace. So you can ask yourself, basically the daily things you need to do, but also what's one small action I can take this week to move me closer? Because some things are not daily, sometimes they're weekly, and ask yourself these questions. Also, you can ask, if I only did one thing today, what would make me proud? So for me, if I get my butt to the gym and I get a good workout in, I am proud. I kicked butt. If I get to the end of the day and I had no sugar, I am so proud of myself watching those numbers tick up of how many days I have gone without sugar. So some other examples for you is drink 1 extra glass of water, declutter 1 drawer, Spend 10 minutes walking outside or stretching. Put $25 into your savings, or $5 or 50 cents, whatever you got. Write a list of 5 people who make you feel good, because maybe you want to connect with them more. Meditate or breathe for 2 minutes before bed, or say no to one thing that drains your energy. I love that one. We don't pay enough attention to the things we need to do less of as well. We're always adding things in. Sometimes the best thing is getting rid of shit. You want to anchor these in a time frame. So your large goals, I know that when we're talking about goals here at the New Year, a lot of people are talking about a 1-year goal. It doesn't have to be a 1-year goal. You could just be starting it now. It could be that it's a 1-year goal, a 2-year goal, a 5-year goal. It doesn't matter. But give yourself a time frame. Generally speaking, when people are doing fitness, you get to a certain level of healthier by the end of the year, but honestly, it tends to take years to get to where you think you want to go. It takes quite a long time, but you're making the movement and you start to feel better before you're actually seeing the results many times. So give yourself what the large goal is going to be, 1 year, 2 year, whatever. Medium goals, maybe you check them quarterly. So each season you're kind of like, okay, where am I at with this? And check in with yourself. And then your small goals are your daily or weekly things you're doing. They are the consistent steps you are taking to get to that mountain peak. So when you look at it this way, this prevents the overwhelm and lets you celebrate the progress. You want to be thinking about the big goal only in that it's motivating you, but you're not aiming to stress yourself out about this big goal every single day. You're not stressing about getting there right now. You're just focusing on the little steps, the little tiny steps that'll start getting you there. Okay, and number 6 is keeping that kind of magic alive while you're doing this. How many times have you seen other people or yourself? I've done this too, where you start really strong and within a month, 2, you're like, I'm over this, because it's a lot of flipping work. So you need to have something to keep you strong with this. And this could be that you basically create yourself like a mantra that you say every day that pumps you up. You could be tracking your progress. So personally, I track my stuff. I have how many days I've been meditating. I have how many days I've been at the gym, how many days I've gone without sugar, how many days I've taken my walk in the trees. I have the numbers there so I can watch them tick up. It is a strong motivator. Even if you want to do these things, there's something amazing about me looking at those numbers. And if I'm tempted to miss a workout, I'm over 1,020 days meditating without skipping a day. I don't want to restart that number. So it pushes me when I'm thinking that I might want to skip. If I am wanting some sugar and I'm like, well, a little bit of sugar won't hurt, I look at those numbers. I also know that I have a bit of an addiction issue with sugar, so I'll just keep going. So I tell myself, no, that'll start the downslide. Don't do it. So having those things to track stuff, or you could have a journal. They have the large calendars that you can get at any of the office supply stores. And I used to have those and I'd write down what workouts I was doing. So that's a cool way of doing it too. So also at the end of the week, reflect. What grew? What felt good? What can I adjust to? So sometimes you'll start with working out. And after you get going, you realize, I hate this workout. Okay, adjust. You don't have to stick with just that. Or maybe you start with a certain eating routine and then you realize you hate it and you're miserable. Then redo things. You're not set in stone where you have to stick with this one thing. So keep that in mind too. That will make life a little bit better if you're not stressing about having to stick with this one thing. So adjust. It's okay to adjust. That'll help you stick with it. And you're learning what doesn't work and what does work along the way. So don't be so hard on yourself with that. Okay, so that's the end of this second segment. We covered a lot of stuff here as well. So hopefully now you have a list of what your goal is and your medium goals and your small goals, and you kind of have a little bit of a plan of attack. And come back for next week when we work on who we are becoming with these goals as a way to kind of emphasize and push and keep us going. So I'll see you guys there. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.